Now, this is a pretty handsome app, I have to say, but it could probably be a little better. Let's make that sidebar a little better. So looking at our static version, we can just put all that stuff in there, hard code the channel names and all that stuff. It's fine. We'll make them dynamic later. Let's just get this thing looking as close to the finished product as we can, even if it's all kind of smoke and mirrors. So looking through static.html in chat static. Let's see, here's the sidebar. Aside, class, sidebar, all this stuff. I'm just going to copy that. All we've got in here right now is props, user, username. I can put that back easily enough. So I'm just going to actually replace all that JSX with this HTML, including the outer div. I'll just make it an aside. Why not? It doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and paste this into Slack.
Did you get rid of the div that was there?
I did. Since the aside has the class of sidebar, that's fine. I can just make that my outer thing. It doesn't matter. But it's more semantic to make it an aside. Why not? So there, I pasted it into Slack. So what's wrong with it? Style prop's going to explode right away. We'll just take it out for now. We'll just take that completely out for the moment. Yeah? Yep, class versus class name. So let's do a search and replace. So find, look for class equal. Replace it with class capital N name equal. Very good. There we go. Still doesn't look like much, but there's some more stuff in it. So I have Davy hard-coded here, so let's change that. So I have div class name user with just Davy written in there. Let's put props.user.username. There we go. So now for some style. Wouldn't you know it? Over here in static world, we have a sidebar.css, but it's got 3 separate rules. So let's understand these rules. This one should apply to anything with a class of sidebar, right? This one should apply to what? All children of sidebar, right? So the greater than symbol is a child selector, which means the thing that follows it must be an immediate child, not a grandchild or a great-grandchild, but an immediate child of that element. So anything that is immediately inside sidebar should have this padding. And this means an H1 that is a descendant of sidebar. Doesn't have to be a child necessarily. We'll get this rule here. So let's use our CSS in JavaScript trick from earlier. And let's start heading down that road. So after my component in sidebar.js, I'll make a new object. I'll call it styles. But this time I can't just start putting all the rules in there because I have 3 different rules. So I'll put 3 different properties here for my different rules. So I'll have one I'll just call sidebar. That applies to the sidebar itself. I'll put another rule for children, I'll call it. And I'll have another one for the H1. Now there's nothing special about these names. They're just what I'm choosing to describe them. And let's start trying to put these in there. I'll start with the sidebar itself. So I'll start by copying and pasting these, even though I know I'm going to have to change every line. It's easier than typing it all. So problem number 1, they all end in semicolons. They should end in commas. Put my cursor at the beginning of that end of that line. Hold down Alt. Put it at the end of that line, and that line, and that line, and that line. Backspace, comma. Multiple cursors by holding down Alt. Pretty handy. All right. All these values need to be quoted. Quotes. quotes, 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 quotes. And all the multi-word properties need to be camel cased instead of using dashes. So that would be background color and flex direction. Okay, I think I've got that one. So here, I'll paste in this CSS. Paste in the actual CSS. You should get the practice of turning it into JavaScript. So how do I apply that? On the sidebar itself, I'll put style equals. And what should it be? It's not this dot anything. Styles is just a variable here, right? So styles, but not all of this. That's not going to work. Styles dot sidebar. So I just want these rules to apply to that. Get it? Styles dot sidebar. Does that much work? Are we on the right track? Yep. Cuss, yeah, Uncle Cussa. All right. So our next rule, for all the children, we want padding of 0, 1 rim, meaning 0 on the top and bottom, 1 rim on the left and right. So children, don't forget to quote this, and I'll go ahead and put my trailing comma because I like that sort of thing. So which elements should that apply to? What are the children here? Not all the divs. The div, this div here, the H1, and the nav. All these inner divs are not children, they're descendants. So on div class name user info, I can add a prop style equal styles dot children. For my H1, I'll add style equals styles dot children. And on the nav, I'll add style equal curly brace styles dot children. And now you'll look, they all have some padding, right? Everything's indented a little. It all lines up nicely. So that much worked. Then we have a style for the H1. So the H1 should be white, should have a font size of 20% bigger than the default for the page, and should have no top margin. Paste that in. Change the semicolons to commas. Change font size and margin top to be camel cased. And quote our values here. Margin top can just stay the number 0. That's fine. A numeric value is fine there. Now what? H1's already got styles.children. Worth a shot. Styles.h1. No. Doesn't work. Now it's all the way to the left. But hey, it is white. So I think it actually took the second one. What if we made that an array? Nope. But it was worth a try. All right. So what else can we do here? So those curly braces just mean the thing inside here is a JavaScript expression, right? We could totally put another object inside there and just do our style object in line, like color white or whatever, right? So 2 curly braces would mean an object literal inside the curly braces. So if we can put an object literal inside there, what if we could say, give me all the properties of styles.children and all the properties of styles.h1. What if I could say, break apart this object into its pieces? Anybody have any guesses? How do we break apart an array into its pieces? With the dots, the spread operator from ES6. So yeah, we can totally do that with objects too. So you can make a copy of an object just by doing this, right? That would be just an exact copy of children. But all you're really doing is breaking it apart into its individual pieces. So put a comma there, break apart styles.h1 into its pieces, and we get both styles. There's no top margin on this. It is indented, and it is white, and it is smaller. So yeah, totally works. Right? That's our friend the spread operator. And we're going to be doing more with that thing tomorrow. You can do it, Kindle. Almost done. I know you can do it. That's all right. I'm not offended. So what do we do? Style, sidebar. It's a step closer to not being hideous.